We're going to continue with the one and only Ivan. This is part 13. Where we left off, Ivan has decided that he's going to try to get Ruby into a zoo. And he's going to use the paint and paper that Julia gave him. And each night he is painting, and he hides his painting underneath his pool. He has a whole bunch of them now. And Mac accidentally finds one of them. It's sticking out from the pool. And he decides that if he can sell that for like $30 or $40 at the gift shop, he'll buy Ivan some more paints. And Ivan is starting to run out of supplies. And Ivan has decided that he's going to not put his paintings under the pool anymore. He's going to put them in Knot Tag, the stuffed gorilla. And he watches an old Western, and at the end of the Western there is an ad for a zoo, and he decided that that's the painting he needs to do. He needs to do a painting of Ruby at the zoo. All right, and we're going to continue imagining. It's different now when I paint. I'm not painting what I see in front of me, a banana, an apple. I'm painting what I see in my head. Things that don't exist, at least not yet. Knot Tag. I pull out Knot Tag stuffing. Carefully, I fill her with my paintings, hiding them so Mac won't sell them. She's large, bigger than Bob, but I still have to crumble a few of them. Bob tries to settle on her for a nap. You've killed her, he complains. I had to, I said. I miss your stomach, Bob admits. It's so spacious. When Julia arrives, she noticed that I've used up my paints and paper. Wow, Julia shakes her head. You are one serious artist, Ivan. One more thing. My finger painting has sold for $40 with frame. Mac is happy. He brings me a huge pile of paper and big buckets of paint. Get to work, he says. I paint for Mac during the day and for Ruby at night. I nap when I can. But my nighttime picture isn't quite right. It's big, that's for sure. When I place all the pieces on the floor of my cage side by side, the cement is almost completely covered, but something is still missing. Bob says I'm crazy. There's Ruby, he says, pointing with his nose. There's the zoo. There are other elephants. What's wrong with it? It needs one more thing, I say. Bob groans. You're being a temperamental artist. What could be missing? It's a picture of Ivan painting and Ruby sleeping. I stare at the huge expanse of colors and shapes. I don't know how to explain it to Bob that it isn't done yet. I'll just have to wait, I say at last. Something will come to me, and then I will know my painting is finally ready. The 7 o'clock show. During the last show of the day, Ruby seems tired. When she stumbles, Mac reaches for the claw stick. I tense, waiting for her to strike back. Ruby doesn't even flinch. She just keeps plodding along, and after a while, Snickers jumps onto her back. 12. I lie in my cage with Bob on my stomach. We are watching Julia do her homework. She doesn't seem to be enjoying it. I can tell because she is sighing more than usual. Again, for the 100th time, or maybe the 1000th, I wonder what is missing from my painting. And for the 100th time, or maybe the 1000th, I don't have an answer. Dad, Julia says as George passes by with the mop, can I ask you a question? May I? George corrects. Ask away. Julia glances down at a piece of paper. What is the difference between the word spelled Principal, principal, and the one spelled Principle, principal? The first one is the head of a school, like Miss Garcia. The second one is a belief that helps you know what's right or wrong. He smiles. For example, it's against my principles to do my daughter's homework for her. Julia groans. If I'm going to be an artist when I grow up, why do I need to know how to spell? With a laugh, George heads off. Poor Julia, I think. Gorillas get by just fine without learning how to spell. All those endless letters, those sticks and circles and zigzags, filling up books and magazines, billboards and candy wrappers. Words. Humans love their words. I leap up. Bob goes flying straight into my pool. A word. You know how I feel about wet feet, Bob yells. He scrambles out of the water, shaking each foot in dismay. I look out my window at the billboard. I can still hear Mac's voice in my head. Come to the Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade, home of the one and only Ivan, mighty Silverback. I count to 12, and then I count again just to be sure. I lay out 16 pieces of poster board, 4 down, 4 across. A perfect square. What are you up to? Bob demands. I'm guessing it doesn't involve sleep. It has to do with the billboard. That sign's a monstrosity, particularly since I'm not featured. I grab my bucket of red paint. You are not on the billboard because you are not in the show, I point out. Technically, I don't even live here, Bob says, with a sniff. I am homeless by choice. I know, I'm just saying. I study the billboard, then I make 2 fat lines like broom handles. Another fat line connects them. I stand back. What do you think? He's made the letter H. What is it? No, wait, let me guess. A ladder? Not a ladder, I say, a letter. At least that's what I think they're called. I have to make 3 more. Bob cuddles up to knot tag. Why? He asks, yawning. Because then I'll have a word, a very important word. I dip my fingers into the paint. What word? Bob asks. Home. Bob closes his eyes. That's not so important, he says quietly. Nervous. All day long, I knuckle walk circles around my cage. I am so nervous I can't nap. I can't even eat. Well, not very much anyway. I'm ready to show Julia what I've made. It has to be Julia. She's an artist. Surely she'll truly look at my painting. She won't notice the smudges and tears. She won't care if the pieces don't quite fit together. She'll see past all that. Surely Julia will see what I've imagined. I watch Ruby trudge sullenly through the 4 o'clock show, and I wonder, what will happen if I fail? What if I can't make Julia understand? But of course I know the answer. Nothing will happen. Ruby will remain the main attraction at the Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade, conveniently located off the I-95, with shows at 2, 4, and 7, 365 days a year, year after year after year. We're going to leave it there. That's the one and only Ivan, part 13.